And now let's talk about the other side of and it's deeply connected. So I don't want to create a false dichotomy, but the side of the ask of inviting someone in, because I think the more I've seen movements of God in history, I've read a biography of Billy Graham or whatever it might be, any revivalist, you have to dig a bit deeper, but there are sometimes one or two men or women, sometimes a broader group, who are also working alongside. They've been called together as a partnership around opening other doors, whether it's financial or partnerships, or it might be. How do we begin to actually see those? What's the healthiest way to see those relationships? And how do we cultivate those over time to live into a shared calling to achieve ministry outcomes?
Well, because it's a very important thing, to live to a calling and to have shared outcomes. You need to define what it is and ensure that there is a buy-in to you as a person and to the project that you're wanting to be involved in. One of the things that we are learning, particularly amongst the millennial generation, they're simply not going to buy into a church or to a program, and particularly after COVID when we come through this, but they will buy into a person. They will know whether you're a phony or whether you're not. And if you're someone who really does care on the one side, then they're prepared to listen to you when you're talking about genuinely consulting, first thing, not just clasping, but genuinely consulting, genuinely being part of establishing a desire to understand and to learn, and to take them on the journey of whatever the financial project is that you're involved in, so that they may see themselves both as integral to your thinking, but also as having been part of shaping the financial or the strategic objectives. The worst situation occurs when a pastor goes off and says, I believe that what we should do is build a whole new facility, and I'm going to get 3 or 4 people to go and do it. That used to work in a command and control world. It doesn't work now. The only way this works is you take people with you on a financial journey in exactly the same way as you took them on a pastoral journey. You buy into them, you don't patronize them, you utilize the skills that they've got, the insights that they've got, and you establish a collaborative work, a wider committee, a grouping of people, a praying group, a worshiping group over whatever the projects happen to be and the priorities of those projects. And are we going to feed the hungry, or are we going to look after the sick? Are we going to work for the homeless, the marginalized, or are we going to provide computers for those who don't have? And there are 100 things that we could do in a church, which COVID has taught us, but they should be collective decisions. And the best example, if you'll forgive me for saying so, I've written a book on Joseph of Arimathea. Joseph, who, as you remember, took the body of Christ from the cross at a time when all the big dogs had disappeared. It was an ordinary business person who took that body down, but he went to find his friend Nicodemus, and they became a partnership. And the partnership was both a sharing of an objective, the person they'd lately come to believe in, and the sharing of their funds. They needed the money for the spices. So there are these partnerships which increasingly we are called to. Now, nothing has been more important in COVID than the emergence of the need for a new partnership to exist between pastors and the pew, as it were, in what's a very, very exciting new future coming. And Joe, who might be the new president-elect of the United States, but Joe of Arimathea is a good guy. Get to know him.